Five, four, three, two, one.
That's what I'm talking about. If you're wondering who this sensation is, it is none other than King Solomon Hicks. Welcome to UBC JAMS. How are you this evening?
Oh, it's great. It's a pleasure to be here. It's actually my first time with UBC, and it's an honor, and hope you guys enjoy the show.
You know, Solomon, the great B.B. King has just recently passed away. And we're talking about young generations, young millennials like yourself, understanding and knowing his legacy. What do you say to those and why they should know about B.B. King?
Well, first of all, just like for the history and just for the songs and stories, there's a lot of encouraging things that are in those songs, and like you're pretty much going on through a time where if you're going through some type of struggle, those songs will pretty much help you get through, which pretty much that message is missing in a lot of today's music. So for me, it's kind of what gets me through the day. For the blues, it's one of my outsourced connections, and it's just a part of African-American history, so I'm glad to keep it forward.
Very well said. See? Our youth has got it going on. Don't care what anybody else says. That's why UBC brings it, jamming. But now, you know, Solomon, we talked about the different instruments, and you had said, oh, when I do the blues, I play this guitar. And what guitar do you have now? Because she's very beautiful, and does she have a name?
Oh, well, actually, this one specifically is called Big Mama. That's the idea, just because like this is probably one of the biggest guitars that I have, and mainly because I play different styles. But two favorites that are in my heart are jazz and blues. And for blues, you're playing a lot smaller of a guitar, usually like a Les Paul style or a Gibson, or more of like a rock style. But for tonight, we're doing some jazz, but also I have two guitars tonight, so I can switch off. But this is more my jazzier one. It's pretty much like a Charlie Christian, Wes Montgomery type body guitar, and it's made like this because the sound is more appropriate for jazz settings, and also it's a lot louder than an acoustic guitar, or sorry, than an electric guitar. So this is my Eastwood, Canadian made, and I'm actually endorsed by the company.
Big Mama. Now, as far as your project, I know you're working on it. We're looking forward to hearing this, album that's coming out. Do you have a name for it yet? And what can we expect from it?
Really, pretty much, I've just been working with the songs. I have about 10 songs written so far, dealing with the licensing, really just getting the band together to play the songs. But really, my goal was for this album, I did two albums before. The first one was the Cotton Club All-Star Big Band in Harlem, and the second one was I did when I was 16. But this next album, I really want to find something that can cross over into the pop world, and also something that can that's danceable for this generation of for people at my age, but still has some good influence as far as just like blues, and still have a lot of musical integrity, but still have along with the dance piece. So really trying to find that thin line of what I can create with that. So that's what I've been working on.
We always talk about the business of music because it really is important. And there's another show that UBC has called The Listening Room. And when you listen, you learn. For others that are listening to you right now, what could you teach them about the business of music? And being, 20 years old and been in the business for 4 years, I think you know a thing or two about a thing or two. Talk to them.
One of the main things that I see with a lot of people my age, being on time is very important as far as business-wise. A lot of times if you're not on time for the gig, somebody who's your friend, oh yeah, it's cool. What I learned the other night from a club owner said he fired this one band without even telling them. It's just it's not something that they teach you in school. It's just something that after a while you just learn what to do and what not to do. Or it's just something where just having the right equipment, make sure everything's right, make sure you're dressed appropriately for the gig and where you're going, knowing your songs, how not to overplay. And one of the biggest things is not to play too loud. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you have to take in mind, also looking how other bands perform and really start to see what makes certain things professional and what makes them not professional.
And practice, practice, practice.
Always. That's forever.
Now, where can they find you? Because I know everyone is interested in you right now. Where can they find you in social media and on the net?
You can find me on Instagram at King Solomon 461. Find my Facebook fan page at just King Solomon, or Facebook Solomon Hicks. You can also look me up on YouTube, and you can go to my website for all my upcoming shows, kingsolomonhicks.com, and yeah.
And there it is. But that's all, folks. Why don't you take us out with a little bit of something, something? Well, there it is. Your host of The Most, Amelia, is more saying we'll be right back.